Welcome to Seat Time, everybody, the off-road show that brings you all the results, news, and online shenanigans that make being online a good time. We'd like to say thank you to Fly Racing for their support of Seat Time. Please go check. Welcome to Seat Time, everybody. Welcome to Seat Time, everybody. Brian Pierce here. This is going to be episode 75 of this fantastic show, which is now live on the internet. I'm thinking that everybody should be pretty stoked on that. I know that I am. If it looks a little bland tonight, it is unfortunately the truth. Cecil Parker could not be here with us. He is actually in rehab. I'm pretty sure that most of you guys think that that's probably for the best. No, I'm just kidding. Cecil lives pretty far away, so the fact that his wife drove him up here last time so that we could have a couple adult beverages and talk about motorcycle racing, I have to say that it was a very, very, very proud moment for her, and I'm very appreciative of it. I'm pretty sure all the fans out there are as well. So if you guys have never joined us before tonight, what you're watching is Seat Time, a little internet show that we do here on the web to just talk to racers and see what's going on, just really find out about everything. You can find us at seattime.co. We've got all of our stuff on YouTube, Stitcher, and iTunes. All you have to do is search for Seat Time. You hit the little follow button, like button, whatever that social media is using at that little time. Boom, all of a sudden you have us in your phone, and it's like, what up? So we were trying to get a couple different guys signed on for the show. It didn't really happen, but we do have Kailub Russell. Erek Kudla is going to join us when he gets some service back in town. But right now, Mr. Kailub Russell, I'd like to ask you, how is your evening going, kind sir?
It's going good. Just finishing up one of our me and my wife's TV shows. You know, Pretty Little Liars. I
really. Were you on the show, or did she force you into that?
No, she just kind of takes over the TV, and she won't give me the remote, so I just forced into watching all these vampire shows and whatnot.
Well, you're married now, so they're actually it's y'all's show. It's not her show anymore. It's now actually your show as well. You have to realize that. So.
Exactly. That's why I don't get to watch TV anymore.
Well, the good thing is that because of Racer TV now, racertv.com, everything's online. You know, she could be watching something on the DVR, and you could just get on your little laptop, you know, and you can watch some dirt bike racing. You might even be able to see some nice little highlights of yourself being all badass, right?
Yeah, that'd be nice, but the problem is I bought her a laptop and not one for myself.
So not only do you not get the TV, but she gets the laptop?
When she's watching TV, she also wants to use the laptop to, you know, whatever on Facebook and all that. I'm just shit out of luck.
Yeah, well, it's disappointing because it sounds like she's online a lot, and unfortunately, she has not followed or talked to me until today, and so it really hurts my feelings. It's unfortunate, but I'm just figuring we can make up for it, right? Right? That's fine.
Yeah, she's shy and backwards.
Was that backwards or backwoods?
Backwards.
Ah. That's okay. That's all right. All right. So you are in your motorhome. We've talked about that a little bit before we got online. Tell us a little bit about why you're in your motorhome, kind of like what's going on right now in your life and all the traveling that you got going on.
Yeah, we got a pretty busy schedule ahead for the upcoming year. I just got back from the OMA, and I was going to come. I had to drop my mechanic off in Atlanta so he could re-prep my OMA bike, and then he's flying out of Atlanta on Thursday. And I was planning on riding for a couple days, but that's not going to happen because all the rain we've been having. So I stayed in town long enough to do this show. I'm going to leave tomorrow morning.
Look at you. I'm just so glad that I asked you to do the show then before you got on the road, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize for the fact of such a poor media person on my part, having a real job and not doing Seat Time full time, that I had to, ask you at such a late notice to do this. But I'm glad you did, and I'm glad you figured it out. So you're stealing your brother's Wi-Fi. Is he not able to view porn right now at the moment? Are we taking up all the bandwidth?
Did you say my brother's?
Yeah, or yeah, maybe.
No. No, I'm at Russell Bobbitt's dad's motorcycle shop, Cycle Specialties.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's fine. I'm an idiot. It's whatever. I mean, I'm gonna go with it. That's fine. All right. So we're pulling Wi-Fi from their shop. So what they're really doing is they're trying to look up some microfiche for some kind of parts, right? They're not actually looking at porn in the shop. You think?
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
You're like, if we start seeing the signal cut out, we'll know that somebody should stop having such a good time in there, right?
Yeah.
All right, well let's cut it back a little bit into some history, because you've had a big, I think, pre-year in the sense that you got married. So we were talking about, your wife and all that kinds of stuff. This is new for you, the newly married stuff. So it looked like you had a pretty badass honeymoon. I mean, was that not really cool?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. We went to Maui, and when we got there, I was kind of like, I was still recovering from my arms, and I couldn't do a whole lot, and I was really out of shape, kind of, because all I was doing was having a good time, drinking some alcoholic beverages, and laying on the beach. But no, it was awesome.
Which is what you should do in Hawaii.
Yeah, for sure. Well, see, the thing was, like, I was thinking about, like, every morning we'd wake up pretty early and go do things. So we had all day to explore and whatnot. But
right.
I was thinking, like, we're waking up so early, I might could go, go for a run on the beach or something. But I was like, well, I'm gonna drink this afternoon, so to just defeat the purpose.
You're like, why exercise beforehand when I know it's actually not gonna balance itself out?
Yeah, exactly. So I think I've been sober for last month and a half now. So staying strong on that program.
Yeah, not to take it away from anybody, but you could probably actually get a chip for that.
Yeah.
You can make it a month.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, well, I'm an ignorant person who's never been to Hawaii, so that was pretty badass. I can imagine, I've seen a lot of people drink on the beaches in Mexico, but not a lot of people, I guess as many, maybe I just don't have a lot of friends that have been to Hawaii, as many people drink while they're there at Hawaii. So is that common? Did you surf? Did you get a chance to go see some of the sights? Did you have too much sex in your hotel room? How was the champagne room? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot that we could talk about just on this one topic, but believe me, people want to know.
Yes, there's a lot we could talk about.
It's like, I've got video.
I didn't do any surfing.
And that's because of your arms, right? Which we'll talk about.
Yeah, I was still getting over that, but I was kind of cleared to get in the water with my arms and stuff. But no, it was pretty cold. Like, it's got to be like bath water for me to get in. So
bath water like 92 or bath water like 72?
Bath water like 80.
Or are you talking like pink bubbles, like in a freaking like jets and stuff? Like, it's got to be like lathered up, like spa.
It's got to be warm.
Oh, okay.
Like,
all right. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. It was December. I'll give you that. December sounds cold in the water.
The temperature was warm, like it was really nice, but like the water was just kind of chilly, and like, I don't know. I stuck my legs in. I'm like,
You're like, yeah, I hear you.
But I grew some balls. I went out on the last day, and there's this cliff right out from our hotel room, and there's people jumping off of it. And there's a shit ton of people out there snorkeling. I was like, man, what are all these people out here doing? All these little Asians out here snorkeling. And so I walk out on this cliff. I look down.
Those are actually natives.
No, there's a lot of Asians there. We're close to Japan.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But anyway, so I walk out on this cliff, and I look down the water, and like you can see all the way to the bottom. So I was kind of unsure how deep it was, but they were all diving off of it. They were coming back up, so I figured it was cool.
9 out of 10 are alive. I'm in. We'll make it happen.
Exactly. But I was looking down, like you can see all the fish, and like I was like figured it out, like why everybody is snorkeling, because there's a bunch of coral and stuff down in there, and you can see stuff. And this ginormous sea turtle comes up and just cruising all right along with all these people. I was like, holy cow, the thing's. It probably weighed a good solid 200 pounds, I'd say.
Wow. So it was like totally like Finding Nemo and him and his like Squirt and his dad and stuff.
Yeah, it's just one sea turtle. I didn't see Nemo and Squirt, but that's sea turtle. Anyways,
that's a good sea turtle.
Jumped off that. Yeah, I jumped off that, and I didn't swim out there. I walked out to the cliff because it was a pretty good swim, and I'd just eaten. And I was like, I don't want to be huffing and puffing. So I jump in, and I'm swimming back, and I was like, for sure you could probably touch halfway. I mean, we're pretty close to the shore, and I start swimming, and I was kind of sick, and I had a little too much to drink, and I just got done eating, and I and I suck in some water, and I about start drowning, and we get back, and I'm just dry heaving on the beach, about ready to throw up around everybody. But that was the last day, so I kind of wish we would have went snorkeling after I seen all the fish.
Oh yeah, dude, I can't believe you didn't. I mean, you could surfers go out in all kinds of crazy weather. All you gotta do is put a skin suit on, I mean I've never done it. I would assume that's what they do in the movies, right? So it's got to be real.
Yeah, it's probably that easy.
I mean, it would have been, but now I guess you're just gonna have to wait till you go back and you take me, and we can do that together.
Yeah, we won't leave. We'll just stay with the natives and be bums in their little shacks.
Woohoo! Neither of us will have wives for very long, is what you're trying to tell me right now, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Come.
All right, cool. Yeah, you guys come visit once a month. We'll get that out of the way for about a week, and then you can leave again. We'll see what's up. So we were talking a little bit. Well, it's fantastic. I do have to say that congratulations. I am married as of almost 3 years to my beautiful wife. We have 2 awesome kids, and one at 6 months right now. I don't know where that is in y'all's talks. I would imagine it's a bit off with the racing and stuff, but it's something to look forward to. It's a crazy experience. No one can prepare you, so I won't try. So on to your arm surgery and why you weren't, I guess too keen on swimming and stuff like that. It was something that I heard when you were talking about your Driven to Win little segment that you had going on with Verb.
Yeah.
And, you had arm pump surgery, and I hadn't heard the words arm pump and surgery go together since sometime in the 90s in motocross. So I was kind of like, what? And I had to watch it a couple times and catch that, and then we texted about it and stuff like that, and that's when we were like, we need to talk about this. So fill some people in a little bit about... Tell us a little bit about the surgery that you had, and then we'll kind of go into like why you kind of did the surgery and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's pretty uncommon nowadays. It was like a kind of a thing in the past. A bunch of the motocrossers were getting it, like you said, the late 90s. There's a few guys I know that have gotten it fairly recently. Kurt's had it 3 times, and it hasn't worked at all for him. But it's all in who you go to, really.
I think we need to keep a girlfriend with that guy more often is probably the problem.
Yeah. But I did a bunch of research, and I found Dr. Cohen in California, and he's the only one that's had like success from everybody that's gotten arm pump surgery from him. And Destry Abbott's actually been a guy that went to him and got it done. I got a hold of Destry, and he said it was night and day difference riding wise. So I did a little more research, and then I called him up and talked it out. And then the next week I was out there under the knife.
Man. Okay, so tell me then exactly. So you got in touch with this doctor. Say, what was his name again? I'm sorry.
Dr. Cohen.
Cohen. Okay. Dr. Cohen. And, you kind of explained some of your symptoms. So I guess brief me on that conversation. You're like, these are my symptoms. So like, what were your symptoms? And then what did he say? Well, we can fix that with X.
Yeah, he questioned me a lot because, a lot of people, I guess, will call them wanting arm pump surgery, and, they just think any arm pain is arm pump,
Okay.
But, I described what I was feeling and how it was and when it went away and everything. And he was comfortable. Once he got a little bit of my background and what I do and my racing and stuff, like he was comfortable taking me in and cutting me open. But he gets in, there's like 3 different muscle compartments on your lower forearm, and he cuts you open pretty good bit. I don't know if you can see my scar.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah. Holy shit. That's yeah. Oh, there we go. That's a serious scar.
Yeah, and here's this one, if you can see it.
Yep.
But he cuts you way open, and a lot of the doctors are scared to get to the bottom 2 compartments because your main artery and your nerve is right there. So he's done it plenty of times, and he says he's never never hit a artery or a nerve, and
He hasn't had a dead patient complain yet.
yeah, exactly. So and so far I had a few problems with my right arm that put me back in the hospital, but so far like it's working really well. I did that OMA this weekend, and never once thought I was gonna get arm pumps, so I'm pretty happy with my riding.
Okay. If you could, you kind of just tried to give us an example of the scar itself. Where would you say on your forearm was most of your arm pump type pain that you were having? Like if you could kind of hold it up and just maybe say like this was the worst spot, or I think that there's a lot of people that might have similar issues, and they've always kind of like gone back on some of stuff they heard in the '90s. But then so many people made fun of different people. So I don't mean to do that. I'd really like to be descriptive about this.
Yeah. See, people are different. Like I would get it about 20 minutes into a race, and it's not like it was like any certain area. Like it was the whole forearm was just like tight,
Right.
like just solid as a rock. And on top there's really nothing there. Like the doctor explained it to me pretty good. Like I couldn't really explain it to you guys like how he explained it to me, but
because you're a neurosurgeon, you're not a forearm surgeon, right?
yeah, exactly. But no, the like how my forearm is now, it's just so jiggly and loose. Like it's just
Chicken skin.
yeah. Like he goes in there and he cuts a strip of fascia, because there's these, you got your muscles. Okay, think of a chicken leg.
Yep.
You got the meat inside and the skin around it. So if you were to cut that skin, and like the meat would kind of just hang out a little bit. He did that to all three compartments. He cut like a strip, yay long, about this wide, like out of those muscles, and now it's just kind of hanging in there.
So before they close you back up, did they attach them to anything to where they're not, I guess, completely loose, or there's some science to that in the sense that it's they're attached at some point.
No, it's like he didn't like unattach anything. He just cut portions of that fascia. He cut strips of that fascia out of each compartment to let the blood flow circulate better. And when your forearm gets tight, like there's nothing constricting it.
Right. Okay.
Because
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
When your forearm gets tight, that fascia constricts it and won't let it go any bigger. And then the blood like just loses circulation. Now it's not as constricted, which that fascia will grow back, but it's going to grow back bigger since the muscle's already kind of hanging out a little bit.
Right.
So now it should circulate better.
So can I do this to my penis? Will the fascia grow back bigger, I guess, is the question, if I did this to my penis?
It might go left or right.
I mean, it already goes to the left, so if we can get it to go to the right, I'm pretty sure we'll straighten it out, right?
Short shriveled to the right.
I mean, I'd really tell you, but then, I don't really need anybody to throw up, so.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, that's really interesting, actually. I appreciate you telling me about Kurt Caselli, because I didn't know that I've given him forearm pump before, so that's good to know. Because I dream about him. I'm glad to know he dreams about me.
Yeah.
It might be creepy, but I'm going to just keep going with it. So from the OMA this past weekend that you did and some of the riding that you've done since the surgery and kind of going forward, you think it's a success so far, up to where you're at now?
Yeah, it's a huge improvement. Like its arm pump is like non-existent. My left arm, my right arm, it's a little bit different motion, from clutch to throttle and everything. But
correct, yeah.
When I'm riding certain terrain or certain things, like my right arm will get tight, but like it's so much better. It's 10 times, it's 1,000 times better than it used to be. Like before, like when I'd start practicing, I might ride for like 20 minutes and then I was over it. Like I was just take my gear off and go do whatever, because I was sick of riding, because couldn't hold on. I was frustrated and just pissed off in general. But now I get tight, but I can still hold on and ride and like have fun. So
well, That's awesome, dude. And like I said, I think it's interesting. It was weird to hear about it again after all the 90s motocross type stuff, but I mean, if it works, do it, and it sounds like there's guys that have been doing it, that it hasn't been extreme public knowledge, or maybe I just don't pay attention. Whichever way, I'm pretty sure my wife will agree that it's probably the case. So this past OMA, you said this weekend we had round 1 of the 2013 OMA series. You got second place. You did really, really well. Sounds like you were in the lead for a little bit there. You had some run-ins with Paul Wibley as well. I'd run him over too if I had the chance. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know him that well. But tell us about this weekend. I think that there's been some changes in the OMA. They've made some rule changes and things like that without practice on Saturday. So, and you have not contested in a ton of OMAs in the past. So, tell us about your experience at the OMAs and what's your thought?
Yeah. They're It's been 2006. So what's a year now? 2013. How many years is that? 6 years. Okay,
Sure.
6 years since my last one.
I like math.
Yeah, I wasn't good at it.
Yeah, you said that past tense, present tense. You are still not good at it.
Grammar either.
Hey, I will judge you the day I am faster than you on a motorcycle. Since that will never happen, I'm okay with it.
Anyway, so 2006 was the last time I did an OMA. Believe I was riding. I just moved up to big bikes. I was riding 200A. I rode pro the last time, and so yeah, it's been a while. And this weekend, it went good. I'm pretty happy with the finish. I mean, considering kind of a different series, completely different type of riding and everything, and I was riding really well. But yeah, I got kind of lost here, but
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, tell us about the OMA. Just bring it on. Bring it on home.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember everything. Yeah. So, anyways, but you mentioned to me running to Paul Wibley or whatever. That was kind of funny ordeal. Off the start, he got the whole shot, of course, and I was like 5th, something like that, behind Farringer, Russell, and Ashburn and him. And we get into the woods, and he's leading, and he kind of went the wrong way and went up into the woods a little bit, and it got really tight, and he slid like on a root and stalled his bike, and I hit that same root. My front tire like went straight into his leg, and like he fell on top of me. His handlebars, he was like stuck in between my bike and his bike, and his handlebars were almost in my spokes. So he gets up and he's standing on my front wheel, like trying to pick his bike up. And then he's like got his left foot on my front wheel trying to kick his bike, so I couldn't pick his bike up. But I hit my button and got out from underneath of him real quick. But that's the last I've seen of him. Surprisingly, he had a bad race. I cannot believe that.
Yeah, especially because he's been so dominant. Now, granted, Bobbitt and Farringer there towards the end were definitely giving him, a run for his money with the OMAs, but he's been very, very dominant in the OMAs as of late. So the fact that you beat him, does that mean you're going to beat him in the 2013 GNCC season?
No, that doesn't really mean anything. I was just kind of getting to the point where, like, where was that bad race last year when I needed it?
Yeah.
But
yeah, you definitely had your bad race. Unfortunately, it was that first one in Florida. But as you were saying, it's all you need is one bad race. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm like I said, that was the last I've seen of him. I was kind of surprised he didn't make his way back up towards us too, because I mean he's been so dominant in the OMAs, but I had a good day. I rode behind Russell most of the time, and I had it was fun. It was like in a national enduro track. It's kind of caught me off guard. I thought it was going to be a little wider, but it was all fresh stuff. Like Gus just went through and put up arrows. He didn't cut nothing down. He just stuck arrows up and like follow those.
Huh? Is that now? Yeah, you haven't. I'm trying to think back too, because I've only seen footage from a couple OMAs and stuff like that. I've unfortunately never been able to be to one or have gone to one. So yeah, I'm not too. Maybe some guys in the chat room can help us out and let us know if that's kind of typical, I guess, at an OMA. If I know it's much more tight.
Yeah.
It's not your typical GNCC style width. But that's interesting that you say it felt all so fresh cut and so or almost not cut.
Yeah, for sure. Like it was a 9 mile track, and probably 6 of it was stuff that nobody had ridden. So
Hmm. Well,
at least right, probably half and half, right around there. But
by the end of the race, it must have been awesome then.
yeah, it was getting good, and I got into the lead, and I was pretty happy because I was like, if I can just keep Russell behind me and not make any mistakes, I could win. Because it was really hard to pass anywhere because it was so tight, and it was really kind of one line because of the mud and stuff, and you kind of didn't want to get off the trail because it was all a bunch of leaves and stuff down. But I ended up making a couple of mistakes, and he got by me, and I was like, it's going to be tough to get back around him unless he crashes or something. But I think with 2 laps to go, I broke off my right handguard, and that was pretty much the end of staying with him.
Right.
A bunch of saplings and stuff kept catching my front brake, and I probably went down the last lap and a half probably 6 or 7 times, just stupid little crashes. But it was I'm pretty happy to finish second behind Russell. He's a 4-time AMA National Enduro champion. He knows how to ride tight stuff, so
yes.
I'm pleased with second.
Oh, I would be very pleased with second, and I think that you're doing a phenomenal job. So taking some of the momentum, some of the, I guess, prep work that you've been doing, like with the forearm surgery, getting married, and then, coming into kind of racing into the GNCC series with doing so well at this OMA, do you have any kind of predictions for yourself, or how do you see this GNCC season going for you, since that's obviously going to be your main focus?
Obviously, I want to see myself win.
Right.
Because I was so close to doing it last year. I know I can. But, it's kind of you reset the field, like everybody thinks they have a shot again. So everybody's going to be ready for the first couple rounds. And you're not really going to see anybody like separate themselves probably until round 4 or 5. Like the first 2 or 3 rounds, like everybody still thinks they have a chance to win. And until they find out they can't, like, I don't know, it's more of a mental game. Like, you got to believe in yourself and know you can win to be up front. And once those guys kind of lose belief, like, then certain guys will start, really kind of be a step ahead of the rest of the field, kind of like how me and Paul were last year.
Yeah, kind of rising to the top there.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Well, that's cool. Well, so you're going to be traveling around trying to get to Florida, getting down there, getting some practicing in before River Ranch. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. It's unfortunate that I'm not going to be able to be down there, but hey, life happens, and then again, while life's not happening, other lives happen. So we're just going to see how it goes and see what comes of it. But man, we really appreciate you coming on tonight. Like you said, you kind of stayed in one spot so that we could get on, so that you could get some Wi-Fi. I appreciate that for sure. So dude, good luck. I hope that I do get to run into you this year at some of the GNCCs, maybe a National Enduro or 2 when we're out there. So that's some fun, Do you have any last words for us before we let you go for the evening?
You kicking me off already?
Do you want us to try to call on Toby? Do you want to make fun of him?
Nah, I'm good.
You sure?
Nah, I'll let you continue on.
We can.
Nah, I'm good. I'm just making fun of you.
Hey, man, that's all right. You can make fun of me all you want. It's been happening my whole life. 33 years of it, I can handle another little guy coming up on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No. All right, dude. Well, seriously, thank you. Thank all your people. You got to give props to people, I'm sure, and everybody watches Seat Time, so it's more coverage. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. How many followers you got? About 10K on there?
Oh,
right
gosh, minimum.
That's that's all the exposure I need
That's
here.
what I'm talking about. What is that? What is that in there? Hold on one second, Caleb. What is that person? Hey, can you see him on your screen, Caleb?
No.
We don't know how this is working. All right, Eric, say hi.
Hi.
Eric, you're live on the internet, just to let you know. So you look awesome. But Eric, you wanted to say hi to Caleb.
Oh, hey, Caleb. I met
What's going
you.
on, dude?
I met you at the Johnny Campbell Christmas Classic a little while ago.
Yeah, I know you are. I remember.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I just wanted to say hey, and congrats on your amazing, stellar year this last year.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. How was the Johnny Campbell Classic this year? I was pretty bummed. I was laying in a hospital bed. I couldn't make it out to it.
It was good. We had actually had a hare scramble on Saturday. That was a 7-mile single track course, and it was a lot of fun.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I was bummed. I was laying there, actually in a hospital out in California, wishing I was riding.
Holy cow! Well, are you going to be ready to race?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Yeah, I missed this whole interview because I've been driving around looking for Wi-Fi.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I'm outside of a Starbucks.
Nice.
So did you go buy a coffee to get the password, or did you just said screw it and pulled in and just took it?
I'm parked up next to it, just like triple parked in the motorhome.
That we want a picture of that before this night's over. You know that, right?
Absolutely. I'm gonna shoot it as soon as I get done with this.
I like it. Well, dude, I'm glad you're on. So don't go anywhere. But we were just wrapping up a little bit with Kailub so that we could get Toby Price on and talk to him about a little bit of what's going on. And then I'm obviously going to talk about your new series. So Kailub, dude, like I said, do you want to stay on? You're more than welcome. We'll just get it'll be like a menage a quattro. Or are you going to go?
Yeah, whatever. I'll stay on if you want me to.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Do you think we could?
I know too, so.
All right. Well, look, really quick before we try to do this, Steven, if you could bring up, you know who I'm talking about. I have to thank my sponsors because sponsors are awesome. They are what make cool people like us have cool people out there like y'all listen and watch and take part in all that goes on. So what you're watching is Seat Time, and Seat Time is sponsored by our title sponsor, Fly Racing. So flyracing.com is the URL where you can find their website, and through that website you can find out all kinds of cool, awesome information about the gear and all the accessories and all the fun stuff that they have that can help you not only enjoy your time on the motorcycle but make you look that much more cool, which though that may not be what it's all about, there is a possibility that it may be what it's all about for you. So flyracing.com, please go check them out. They're actually going to be having some new gear that just came out for their spring 2013 line. It's the Kinetic Shock Mesh, and a lot of that stuff is looking good. There's a couple colorways that I think I'm going to maybe have to have, and there's a couple colorways, excuse me, I'm burping here because of my cider, that I'm definitely going to have. So please go check them out, flyracing.com. We really appreciate their support. I know that Steven's pushing all kinds of buttons and trying to get us set up here. That's fine. We're kind of pushing the limits here to see how it goes. So, Erek, if you had one question for Kailub Russell and you were online with him right now, what would it be?
Oh,
wait, hey.
I was trying to think of good stuff. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. I was trying to think of good stuff on my way here. I guess what's it like growing up watching all the GNCC guys, and idolizing them and looking up to them, and then going out there now and actually battling at them and beating them?
Fantastic question, by the way.
That's a really good question. The only bummer thing is, like, all the guys that I kind of looked up to are, like, kind of out of the sport now, or not racing. They're not really out of the sport, but I looked up to guys like Rodney Smith and Fred Andrews and Ben Hawk and Steve Hatch and guys like that. And, like, I remember as a little kid looking up to them, just kind of picturing myself like, that's all I ever wanted to be. And I never let anything kind of steer me away from that one goal, being a professional GNCC racer. I never really questioned myself. Like, it was just a matter of time before when. And, I wasn't ever the best amateur rider either. And getting to that level and then racing against those guys is something that I wish I could do now. It'd be pretty fun, but there are really not too many of them around. I think I got to race against obviously Barry and some of those guys, but it's pretty amazing seeing where I was 10 years ago, just looking up to those guys and wanting to be in their shoes, and now I'm kind of in their spot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then you said that as an amateur rider, you weren't a very good amateur rider. What was it like? Was there like a point where like all of a sudden something clicked, and just like the next race you went out to, you're like, oh wow, now I'm faster than all these guys? Or did it just kind of happen?
Yeah, it was kind of like that. Just something clicked randomly. I kind of clicked in like segments too. Like, it wasn't ever just bam. I was like, killing A class. It was
Plateau.
like, yeah, it was like kind of starting from the youth days. I wasn't that good a youth rider. I think 2005, like Corey Buttrick was like my arch nemesis on youth bikes. Next year I moved up and I was riding 200A and I was getting my butt kicked by all these old guys. And then one race, I think it was Yadkinville 2006 GNCC. I come out and I win my first race just out of nowhere. And then I won that race, and then I finished on the podium in the 200A class 2 more times. Then last race of the year, I just smoked everybody by like 13 minutes. And then the next year, I went undefeated. So
Yeah,
it's
it kind of happened.
Straight up badass.
not really.
It just kind of happened. No, I know how that is, where you're like riding and you're on a plateau and you're like, man, I can't get any faster, and then you just go out the next weekend and for some reason you're way faster.
Yeah.
It seems like no reason at all. Like just
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
Something happens, and you figured it out. It's kind of worked that way my whole life, racing wise, anyways.
I had
Especially
just the opposite.
battling-
I got slower, and all of a sudden it just happened. I was like, son of a bitch.
Especially when you're battling with friends, like they'll get off that plateau and you're like, what the hell? And then you'll get off the plateau and they'll be like, what the hell? And it just, like with Corey, you guys kind of went through. It sounds like you went through the ranks all the way together.
Yeah, it was me. See, I was my age. I was in the same class as Thad Duvall, and Corey was like 2 years younger than me, I think, or a year and a half or something like that. So he was always a little bit in the class below. But Thad got bigger, and I kind of stayed small. So I stayed on the small wheel bikes, and he moved up to big bikes before me. Then Corey moved up to the bigger mini bike before I did too. So I ended up racing Corey instead of Thad, and then I was never in the same class as Thad until we got to XC1.
Yeah. Yeah, he got out of XC2 before you came in, right?
Well, we raced against each other in XC2 2008 when he won the championship. That was my first year in the class.
Is it weird that I know about this stuff because I watch it and like people can tell you, oh, I remember seeing you this, I remember seeing that, and you're kind of like, oh, I kind of remember that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, a little bit.
I might be stalking you, or I might not be. Well, dude, awesome.
I got it all TiVo'd, all of it.
Nice.
I've got stuff TiVo'd too, but I can't tell him about it because his wife might find out. Which is awkward. Well, Kailub, I know we were going to try to keep you on, but I hate to say it. It looks like we're having some bandwidth issues because of the fact that we've got so many videos going on at once. So.
Gotcha. I guess you got to upgrade your internet package.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to lie. My package is pretty big. So the fact that it's failing me now is pretty disheartening. So. Yeah. I thank you very much for being on the show. I know that Erek got to ask you some questions that he's been bonering over all night, so it's a good time. So thank you very much. Please definitely I know you didn't get a chance, but give your shout outs to all your peoples, and then we'll call it an evening, and we'll high five in the future.
Yeah, no problem. I got to thank FMF KTM, my wife, my mechanic Tanner, Scott Goggles, CD Boots, motosport.com, St. Lawrence Radiology, NFAB, and whoever else I forgot. I know there's probably a bunch, and it's a long list. All the
other cool people.
But I appreciate it, all the support, and thanks to all the fans and people watching to help the sport grow. Thanks.
Well, it's going to be a good time, man. Congratulations again, getting married. Look forward to seeing you kick some ass 2013 GNCCs. I think it's going to be freaking phenomenal. So you just hang up on us, man, and it's gonna be an end of the night. But I'm gonna be sad to see you go.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you later. Have a fun show.
We love you.
Here's Starbucks. Right
Starbucks,
there.
Woo!
Starbucks.
I like it. All right, so we're gonna keep seeing. We've got all kinds of fun stuff going on. Steven's pushing buttons, trying to figure out if all this stuff's gonna work, but we think it is. We're trying to get Toby Price on the line right now. Erek, how do you pronounce your last name? Because I don't really know.
Well, both my grandparents say it different. So
really, both
Kudla,
your Kudla, okay,
Kudla or Kudla or whatever.
Just like cuddle up on a good time, or
yeah. Might as well.
I like it. Okay, so you have a new series that's getting ready to come out soon on the West, and like a new desert racing series. So as Steven kind of like starts to see if he can figure this stuff out, go ahead and tell us a little bit about this series that you're kind of, that you're getting started from the ground up.
Okay, well, actually, I'm out here in the desert right now.
Yeah,
and
physically.
The first round's on Sunday. And so it's just a brand new series that we started. I was working with the U.S. Desert Racing Series and District 37 and a bunch of different organizations. And we started doing team races for USDR, and they became bigger than the main race. And so with this series, I'm kind of like, I wanted to go out on my own. I've always wanted to go out on my own. And I just took that idea, did team races. I'm preempting Baja so people can come out and race the team races and get prepped for Baja. And there's 3 team races, a National Hare and Hound, and the Johnny Campbell Christmas cards. It's all part of the series.
Okay. Man,
so
you got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, and that's just this. I'm doing the Youth National Series, and I work with the district, and I do all the graphic design for the stuff out here, and I race. I'm actually going to Baja on Tuesday, straight to Baja after this. So
Is that for the San Felipe 250?
Yeah. I'm actually racing a Class 21 with Adam Neward.
Man.
So
you're crazy.
Yeah, I kind of took from like what the Racer Promotions does, where they do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
They got all of it, and that seems like really the only way you can be profitable or make a living doing this is doing every aspect of it.
Right.
So I do the graphic design, the promotion. I go out and race. I put on the races. I do it from start to finish. Design all the shirts. Design everything. So I did all the web design. I do everything for our series. So
you are a man of many talents.
It's what I'm trying to do. Oh, I'm in a band. So
what do you play?
In this band, I'm playing drums right now.
Nice, but are you not a drummer? Or are you just kind of filling in? You're having fun, or?
Well, I grew up a guitarist, but then I picked up drums because all my friends were drummers, all my friends were guitarists, and they were all better than me. And there was a drum set, so they're like, "Looks like you're playing drums." And so I just picked up the drums, and it's not that I'm better at that than guitar. It's just it's a lot more needed than a guitarist because everybody plays guitar.
That's very true. I am myself a drummer. I played in multiple bands throughout high school and college and all that kinds of fun stuff. Don't play as much nowadays as I would like to, but I would agree. It's like with the second anybody finds out you're a drummer, they're like, "Holy crap, you want to be in my band?" I'm like,
yeah.
Nah, I mean, not really.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
then you're like, then you want to be like, "Well, I suck." They're like, "Oh, that's okay. We just need a drummer." I'm like,
Yeah. Basically, the last band I was in a couple of years ago, I traded my drum set for a bass cabinet. So I don't have any drums. So basically, when somebody asked me to play drums, like, well, you got to have the stuff, and this band had the stuff, so I just show up and play with them. So when I have a minute here and there in between doing all this other stuff.
right? Well, that's one way to make it work for sure.
Yeah. So I just keep busy trying to do things that I like doing as much as possible. So
I like it. Okay, well, it sounds like you are definitely involved in the off-road community, and you have a lot of awesome involved in yourself with that community. So, specifically, tell us, it looks like you're kind of trying to highlight the fact that there's a lot of endurance going on, a lot of team races, extreme kind of terrain, going on in this new series. So, is there anything specific that really stands out in your mind about the series that's going to be coming up this Sunday that is going to make it stand on its own, next to a lot of the other off-road races that are out there, specifically West Coast, I think, since that's what you're kind of competing against.
Yeah, the West Coast is kind of weird right now. People, like, we have Big Six series that's happening right now, and
Right.
it's easy. And that was one thing I wanted to ask Kailub is like, what's up with the how GNCC? I mean, what makes it so huge? Because it's really tough. And out here, it doesn't seem like they like tough races. They like easy or they like extreme.
Yes. Hey, what's going on? Do you know, we just totally, yep, Adam, quick. That's all right. What's up, Toby?
Not too much, mate. What's happening?
We're just hanging up on people in the middle of their conversations.
Nice, good stuff.
I was like, hit the plus button, and he didn't. And it's so, as usual, I might have had too much to drink, and somebody else might be taking advantage of me, but that's okay, right?
That's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that.
All right. Well, so as I say, Steven's going to try to get Erek back on the line. We've got you really quick. We're going to try to talk to you. This is interesting. I don't know that I know how to switch gears this fast, but we're going to try to work with it. So you're in the States. You're in the KTM shop. What the hell's going on, man? What are you doing here outside of Australia?
Yeah, I just flew in today, so I'm over here to compete in the San Felipe 250. So it's looking forward to all these Baja races, and glad to be here. So I can't wait.
Gosh, yeah, dude. So you are now going to be on the KTM Baja team. You're the fourth member for this year.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, I'll team up with Mike Brown to do the 250 and the 500, and then we all team up to do the 1,000 at the end of the year.
Absolutely epic. Okay, what does this mean for you? You have tried for so long. You've come over every now and again to do some American racing, but you're a huge name in Australia when it comes off-road. Won multiple titles down there, but now you're, KTM, who is a sponsor of yours in Australia, has brought you to the States. You're going to do some, I guess, American racing, but technically you're going to be in, Mexico, whatever. Yeah. What the hell does this mean to you? Because I have a feeling it means a lot. Yeah,
definitely. This is a massive big foot in the door for me. This is what I've been trying to do for a long time, is get over here and race full time and come to America. So it's a dream come true at the moment. But it's still got some unfinished business. Can come later on and move here full time.
I like it, man. So we did just get Erek back in the middle of his conversation. So we did get Toby Price on as well. So now we actually have our second and third guest on at the same time. So now we are back to a menage a trois. It's the weirdest Tuesday night I've ever had, because I went from like 3 guys to 3 guys to 3 guys, and then in the middle of there it was only 2 guys, and now it's 3 again. I'm telling you, Steven. You're just pushing my buttons all kinds of weird, and I'm kind of liking it. All right, so Toby, while we've got you, I know you're kind of in the shop. You're looking forward to this. You're going to be – what bike are you guys going to be riding when you're down there? Tell us a little bit about the bike setup.
Yeah, we're on the KTM 450. That seems to be a pretty good bike. I got a chance to come over at the end of last year and just kind of scout out the area and just get used to the –
Get used to the ability of Wi-Fi. Go on.
Yeah, got to get onto got to go and see the race in the helicopter. But this year, I'll get to actually compete and be a part of the racing. So I just take it as it comes, and hopefully can hold that throttle on and go for it.
All right, now see all the racing that you've done in Australia, especially a lot of the desert racing, how does that compare to what you're about to take on? This coming weekend, and what you saw when you were in the helicopter last year for all the racing that went on?
Definitely a lot more people, and a lot more people standing on the track. That's we're gonna have to be dodging a fair few more people, but it's looking pretty good. The racing compared to back home, like I compete in the Fink Desert Race and Haddad Desert Race, and those two races are completely different, and then also like a lot different to what the Baja racing is. So. Fink is a bit more high speed. Like we get an average of like 127 kilometers an hour in that race, and top speeds of about 180 kilometers an hour. So it's a little bit different. Just the terrain is a lot different to what we do back home. It's like more sand and like whooped out and a little bit of hard pack. But here's got a wide variety of everything, where it's hard packed to silt beds to rocky whoops to climbing hills and everything. So it's a bit of everything. It's a wide variety. It's good.
Nice. Well, I've talked to Kurt Caselli a few times about his Baja experiences and some of his desert racing. If there's any bit of advice that I have for you from what I have learned from talking to him, is it's just the same as when you're at a strip club. When you see a big group of people around something, you either really want to know what it is or you really don't want to know what it is. Most of the time with desert racing, you don't want to know what it is because of the fact that there's a million people watching. Something freaking crazy is about to happen and shit's going to get nuts. So What is your main trick going to be when you're fronting all those people? What's going to make you stand out and be the most awesome? You're just going to like flip them all off?
I don't know. Yeah, hopefully can come across those group of people and not come off. Because I think that's usually what they try and do. They set up a bit of a booby trap there and try and bring you unstuck. So it's if I can get through all that stuff and hold that throttle south, I'll be good to go.
I like it. Hold the throttle south. Eric, have you ever heard that before?
No.
No. Yep. Me neither.
That's a great way to put it.
I know. I always heard elbow to the ground, obviously WFO, all kinds of fun stuff, but that's a good one. Throttle to the south.
Yeah.
All right. So you're an Australian, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. What was? Yeah. Yeah. It's like Y-E-Y. Well, what is it? Y-E-W. How do you say it?
You.
Yeah.
You,
mate. Well, all right. I have to know. I mean, I'm not here to get anybody in trouble, but we had a good time after the ISDE at the after party. Of the after parties that you've been to, how does that one rate? So that I know if I felt like I'm like, oh man, you were at a 10, or if like I was at like a 4, but I felt like I was at an 11. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how did that compare to a lot of the other ones you've been to?
Yeah, well, us Aussies, we got this bit of reputation. We know how to party, so I think we're at about a level 8 there. I reckon it was it got pretty wild. So it's
Rock.
But yeah, that was at the end of the season, and pretty much that was a bit of our time. We could let our hair down. We had a hard 6 days there, and I was still carrying some broken ribs, but a few medicine bottles of the bourbon and everything that kind of settled it all down, and you kind of forgot about it.
I love it. It wasn't a couple bottles. It was way more than that. But that's fine.
I'm talking about like the actual big bottle, like not pre-mixed.
Well, that makes me feel horrible because it makes it sound like you had way more to drink than I did because you were behind the scenes doing it somewhere. So I think I'm gonna have to man up. So, Eric, have you had a chance to see any of the video footage or any of the stuff out there of Mr. Toby Price riding his little KTM's to all of his fun little championships?
Oh yeah, I've been following the whole thing since I actually met you at that fish taco place at the end of the 1,000.
What?
Real quick, I was just like, hey, what's up? And that was it.
I'm your number one American fan.
Yeah, they were saying, yeah, we got this new fast guy on KTM, and I was like, oh, who? And then I met you, and then just been looking you up and stuff, and I think, did you win the Fikey or the Fike last year as well?
Yeah, the Fink Desert Race. Yep.
Yeah, Fink, and 2011.
Yeah, I won it the first year. I went in 2010, and then last year in 2012.
Yeah, so I think I had heard your name sort of from there, and so, it's gonna be great to have another super fast guy on a KTM down in Baja, and hopefully they can get that 1X this year because they were so close last year, and one of the races I put on is the Johnny Campbell Christmas Classic, so he's my boss for that day, but I still like the competition out there, and I ride a KTM too, so I want to see as much battling out there as possible. So
I like it. We're all a bunch of orange bleeders here.
Yeah.
I have a feeling only one of us is professionally paid to do it, though.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. I'm having trouble over here. I'm trying to pour myself a drink and put my beer down, and it's just not really going over that well. So it's all right. It gets exciting. So one of the things that I remember, that I barely remember towards the end of the night was the seat time stickers. And when the seat time stickers came out, I wound up trying to put them on everybody's boobs. And so it was half the Australian chicks walked away with a lot of seat time stickers. Whether they wanted them or not, they were getting them. So
exactly. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Putting them out there.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, hey, would you mind marketing for me? I appreciate your help. So,
it wouldn't even bother asking. I would just slapped it straight on there. You would have been good to go.
Yeah. Well,
sounds like
so
how in perfect Mexico. So.
Ooh, maybe I should go to Mexico. No, I don't need to go to Mexico because I won't probably make it back.
Yeah, Mexico's more about the pre-party too than the post-party. After the race, people just they're kind of over it, but before the race, that's when the party happens.
Really? So, but that's more of a, I guess, a cultural party? Like everybody that's attending the race, maybe not the racers themselves, right? Or is that there's racers out there too?
I don't know. Usually, whenever I go out, it's not the night before the race. It's the night before the race.
Aha.
So you got that whole night before to recover. But when we go out, everybody's out. I've seen Robbie Bell out. Kendall, of course.
He's name dropping. Shit just got weird.
A lot of the truck guys. Larry Rosler, all those guys. It is a huge cultural thing too. They have thousands of people in the streets, but all the races are out there too. I mean, that's what it's all about is the pre-party. Because after the race, people are so spread out at that race that they're just like, all right, I'm going home. Screw this. So.
Yeah, I can imagine that. That's a lot of racing, 1,000 miles, especially just you guys are all racing it through the night. It's like when you're done, you're like, checking out, son.
All right, going to sleep.
Yeah.
The team that I was helping with last year, we finished, and we went to have tacos, and these guys were already having their breakfast after sleeping all night. So it was like, I think they finished, the KTM and the Honda team finished 12 hours ahead of the Sportsman team that I was chasing for. So
wow,
it's and they only average 10 miles an hour faster, but over 1,000 miles, it's 12 hours. So.
That's a shit lot of time. That's what that is.
Yeah.
All right, Toby, how are you going to make this KTM team better?
Hopefully, I can just get up on that podium with the guys. I just want to, do the best I can, and hopefully my strengths will be a little bit more through the the whoop section and stuff. So I'm a bit bigger guy, and hopefully I can keep that thing straight and keep it dialed, and we'll try and get it towards the pointy end of the field.
I like it. Man, dude, I need you to write all this shit down. I need to work it into my vocabulary. I mean, if I could have an Australian accent, I'd try, but I've tried accents on the show before, and I remember how poorly they went over, so I will not try an Australian accent right now. Okay, so say Baja goes absolutely fantastic. Oh my gosh, you guys get the 1X. Cool. What's next? What do you, either what's going on for you in Australia for 2013, or if you were to come to America, where would you, see yourself racing in what series? And obviously, let me rephrase because the Baja 1000 is obviously at the end of the year. But say like this weekend goes fantastic, and I won't sound like as much of an idiot.
That's it. We don't want to count the chickens before they hatch, but we'll see how we go. Hopefully, we can get a good result this at the San Felipe 250, and that's the thing. I've got a pretty big full season back at home. I've signed a contract back there with KTM to race a full season there, and also race here in the all Baja races. So I'll be going back and forth a fair bit on the plane, and it's like a 14 hour flight. So kind of starting to feel it a bit at the moment. But if we can get a good result here, I'm hoping that it could open doors for me to come across here next year and base myself here full time for a 12-month plan and see how it goes. Maybe do some hare and hounds and then also do the Baja races. So I love going flat out, and the more I can be in fifth gear and wide open, the better it is. So we'll just take it as it comes.
Man, that's awesome. I think Erek, how excited would you be to see him in like a hare and a hound or a Big Six or one of your events? Something like that. I mean, that would be pretty awesome, wouldn't it? Yeah,
I mean, it's great to have people from all over come out here, and especially big names. Even though he's brand new to the scene, I mean, that's, as far as we're concerned, that's still a huge name to come out here to the West Coast. Because most people go straight to the East Coast because GNCC, National Enduros, all that other stuff's over there, and we've got Works sort of still, and we've got Big Six, and we've got National Hare and Hounds, and like you were saying, my series just started, so I'm not too worried right now about trying to attract big names. I'm just trying to get through this season first.
Right. Well, I mean, if you get Toby Price, you're obviously going to have women involved. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's probably going to bring an Australian harem. So.
We could only hope.
Hopefully the Australian accent can pull some in for us and we'll be good.
I keep inviting him to my house, hoping he'll come and just bring random people with him.
Yeah.
Mate, I've offered a fair few in the OGO gear bags, mate. They supply me a few OGO bags, but I'm trying to squeeze them in there with all my gear and stuff, but they don't seem to take the offer up too much. It's a bit too long to be squashed in an OGO bag.
Yeah, and your accent only gets you so far, really.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. It does. My accent don't work at home, so it's only working over here.
Ooh, that's a good one. I talked to Strang about this, and I don't remember what he said, so I want to rehash this with you. So, say Eric, who might be single, he might not. I'm married, so
Absolutely.
He is absolutely. He is happily, absolutely single. So say he were to show up in Australia, okay? Everybody there obviously has an Australian accent. Well, most people anyway.
Chops,
but
too.
he does not. Yeah, he has wicked ass awesome chops and an American accent. Does that get him any like foot in the door when it comes to the ladies, or are they just like, do they just like hate us Americans because we think like we get a foot in the door?
No, I don't. I think you might have a bit of a chance to get your foot in the door there. Like it's got to be the same as what it would be for coming over here. So yeah, I don't know. You guys are just gonna have to come over and stay at my place and find out. We'll take you out to all the places. We'll find something.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to play the cards and see how they lie, or some other slogan that sounds retarded.
That's it, exactly.
A couple of friends of mine that went over there said it's pretty much like when Australians come over here, it's the same when Americans go over there. The ladies love it. And, it's not all the ladies.
You guys are good then.
It's the ladies that are into it, but
I'm fairly unattractive, so hopefully my accent will play up for me. So, all right. So if you were to go to the East Coast, what would be your number one chance where would you want to compete on the East Coast? In the States, of course, not East Russia.
Who are you talking to here?
I'm talking to you, Toby. I mean, Eric races, but you really race.
I'm slow.
Yeah, no, if I was on the East Coast side, I'd probably try and compete in the GNCC series. I don't mind. We do the same type of format back home in Australia, and it'd be pretty good. I actually came over and done a couple of races in GNCC, and my best result I got is a 4th at which one? Loretta Lynn's, I think it was. So I like that type of racing. But yeah, like I'm happy to go anywhere really. Like I'm trying to strive to get over here full time, and whatever position's available, I'll be more than happy to put my hand up and try and fill it.
Oh, it's funny because that comment could have come the night that I met you in Germany, and it would have been just like completely true. You will definitely just like, what do you need? I'm in. Done.
That's it. You know what I was like in Germany, so
it's gonna happen. I'm sorry that you asked, because shit's getting filled up. You know what I'm saying? It's happening. So good times all around. Well, dude, I think things were a little rocky tonight, so I'm sorry that you had to wait so long for us to get you on and stuff. But we've got Eric. We're gonna keep talking to him for a little bit. I know you've got all kinds of teamwork to keep working on. So I think a question that I have, though, that I really like to ask you off-road KTM riders, especially the top-notch ones, is have you seen an air shock yet on an off-road motorcycle?
Not on the off-road ones yet. So I think that might be a little bit away at the moment. But the thing looked pretty tricky in Dungey's bike from what I could see when I was back in Australia. So hopefully it might be just around the corner for us, and we'll get to try one out sooner or later.
And if you were to hold up an air shock, do you think that you would be dainty about it, or would you just be like, oh my God, I'm just, would you just like full bore, full fist it, like, oh, check out my air shock? Yeah,
I'd be stoked. Like anything over here, it's like, full factory bits in there over here in the States. So it's pretty much I can get my hand on anything. I get my hand on a titanium bolt, and I think I've got the best thing in the world. So it's for me, it's a bit of a high in everything, like from just being here and then being in the KTM workshop where the whole guy, like all Ryan Dungey and all them guys are based out of. So it's a pretty awesome feeling, and hopefully I'll have plenty more of it to come.
Nice. Well, hey, while you're in the States and shipping is still a lot cheaper, I don't have one of your signed jerseys on my wall.
We're going to have to get you one over for sure.
So, and half of the ones I've been sent are still sweaty. So I'm just saying, I'll take what I can get.
No worries. Well, hopefully we might be able to try and get a good result in the San Felipe and 250 race and make it a well worth jersey to be hanging up in your shed there.
I like it. I think my shed would be honored. So we'll see what happens.
Perfect. Sounds
All right.
good to me.
Eric, before we let this guy go, do you want to give him any last rashings?
Oh, one question I had is, you know how they always say that Australians and New Zealanders don't get along at all?
Yes.
So if you were to race GNCC, are those the first guys you're taking out, or is it just going for the win?
Well, yeah, I'll be just going for the win. So kind of if they're in the way, yeah, I'd say we might have to just trade a bit of plastic. But for me, like, yeah, I get along with New Zealand guys, but there's a lot of people in Australia that probably don't get along with New Zealand people, and there's probably a lot of New Zealand people that don't get along with Aussies. So it's it's about 50-50, but yeah, I'm more pretty good.
About anyway?
What was that? Sorry.
What is that all about anyway? Like they're just not from here, so we don't like you?
Yeah, I don't know. That's yeah, they're not too far away from us, like from our border. So it's East Coast. It's only about a 4-hour flight, but we just don't seem to get along with them too much. Don't know what it is, but yeah, I'll probably better not comment on it too much. It might start a bit more stuff up for Aussies and New Zealanders. So.
Well, it's okay. You can do it on seat time because we really don't care because it's a pint full of awesome. And if we're gonna get people to fight on the internet, we might as well do it on our website, right?
May as well do it on get your website, get all the ratings going through the roof with Aussies and New Zealanders just starting to blue and go crazy.
Dig it, awesome, man. Well, okay, ISDE, you gonna be back competing again this year?
Yeah. Hopefully, be back for the ISDE in Italy. So. I put my name down, so we'll just we'll wait and see. Hopefully we'll get picked and we'll send a pretty good strong team and see if we can go that one step better. But it seems to be it'll be a hard task when we finish a fair way behind. But second's been our best result, and we're looking forward to getting back and trying to do the best we can.
Awesome, dude. Well, it's been a tough year. I'm not gonna lie, so I don't know if I'll be back there, but I think it's gonna be Argentina. Coming up 2014. I don't really know if that changes much for me just because it's south of me. It'd still be a long flight, but I would love to do it again, obviously. So either if you're in America or if I'm where you are racing, we're going to hang out. We're going to high five. Probably going to have a few drinks when you're not racing. And I think it's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it whenever it happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Sounds good to me for sure.
Love it. Awesome. Well, you tell Kurt I said hi. No more arm pump surgeries without my my consent.
Will do, mate. No worries for sure. Well, good chatting to you.
Absolutely, man. We'll have to do it again whenever our time zones line up.
Perfect. Sounds good. We'll hopefully next few trips on the way back we'll schedule something again and we'll go from there.
I love it. You hang up on us and you have a good night.
No worries. You too, boys. Cheers
Later,
for the
boss.
chat.
All right.
See ya.
in Mexico.
Yeah, see you in Mexico. Cheers.
All right.
All right, Eric, we're gonna hang up. It's gone. All right, it's just you and me now, buddy. You think you can
I
handle
don't
it?
have video.
Oh, maybe it'll come back. I don't know. Steven might be able to figure it out. If not, you could just put a picture of me up on your phone and make me look pretty.
Just like that with your thing.
Yeah.
I just imagine that
How you
all
doing?
night. Oh, there we are. No, I still don't have you.
Nothing.
Anyway.
That's okay. So we were talking a little bit about your series and stuff like that. So I think one of the questions I have for it is, how awesome is Toby Price?
He's awesome.
Yeah. All right.
It's another fast guy coming up, and they're always coming, and there's always another faster guy than the last guy that you ever saw, and he's one of those guys that he's still pretty young too, from what I understand. So
Yes.
And it was funny when I met him in Mexico. He was like, "Hey, I'm Toby Price," and I was like, "Oh, Toby Price," and I was like, "Oh, oops." Like, I just said it. He said it. I don't know.
I didn't mean to make fun of you to your face, but haha.
Yeah.
Got you, bitch.
But it'll be cool to see what he can do down there, and it's, from what it sounds like, it's pretty similar to the Thinky.
Yeah, I think Fike.
Think. I don't know what it is.
We'll go with it.
But it's this 250 is going to be very interesting with the new formats, the new course. I mean, and the top guys pulling 1, 2, and 3 right out of the gate. It's going to be a great race.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, before we get talking a little bit more about Erek's new series that he has coming up, actually that starts this Sunday, I definitely want to thank another one of our fine partners for their support of Seat Time, and that is Powersport Graphics. So if you go to ridepg.com, that is the website where you can find out more about Powersports Graphics. Big thing is you can order their pre-printed numbered plate decals by 11 a.m. Eastern, which unfortunately would be 3 hours before that, so 8 a.m. If you're on the Pacific, but that's okay. It's still going to ship the same day, so that way you can get it quicker. So that's what you want to do. If you're like, oh man, I really want to order this, what you want to do is you want to order it quickly before 11 a.m. Eastern, and you can have it the next day. Same day shipping. It'll be there soon. And then as well, what's also fun is you can go in there, you're like, oh my gosh, that is the sexiest looking bike kit in the world. I want that. But if you're not one of those picky guys who just wants to change everything and make all the little details different, you can go in there and you do ready to ship option, and it saves you 40% off of the price that you see online. That's a big deal. I mean, if you're going, oh, I really want to put my friend's company on there, you got to think about it. What has your friend really done for you? I don't know. Do you want to save yourself some money and order from RidePG? I think you should. Powersport Graphics, ridepg.com. Please go check them out. And if you're like, oh my gosh, I want to order some bitchin' ass decals for whatever, Seat Time is the discount code that you want to use to save 10%. So you want to save 10% off of any order that you make on there, put in the discount code Seat Time. Tell them that we said that we sent you and that we're awesome because you'd like to get one of our logos on your kit. That's what's going to happen. So thank you very much, Powersport Graphics. Appreciate your support. Mr. Erek. All right.
Yeah.
We'll refocus. No, we'll refocus. It's cool. I've got time. Steven doesn't, but we'll make it happen. We got a little bit tough. We do want to know what is going to make your series like kind of start to stand on its own. What does your format offer? Maybe not that's different or that's better and stuff like that, but what do you think is going to really kind of, make it its own entity?
A big thing that we've got going is like this race is a 200-mile race. It's out here we do the
That's a lot of miles.
Yeah, it's a 52-mile course and we do 4 laps on it, and it's a team race, which we don't have team races out here except for Baja and stuff like that. Little fun. Oh, we're doing a team race before Saturday before. This is a serious team race, and that's one of the big things that we don't even have it all out here. And we're doing 3 team races, and then that National Hare and Hound up in Reno, which is going to be going on at the same time as a truck race. So there's actually a truck race happening, and you're going underneath the course. Like there's these big tubes that you go underneath the course as the trucks are going at the same time. And that one's sponsored by Monster Energy, and there's Monster Girls there, and there's, Freestyle Motocross and the Cabana. Ivan the Iron Man Stewart was commentating, and he was handing out the awards and everything last year. It was crazy. So
it sounds awesome. I want to hear more about the Monster Girls.
Oh yeah. When you get close, it's not the same. Not the same. But there's still, it's like there's one for everybody. You know what I mean? There's like, oh, that one's hot, and those ones are okay. But then my friends are like, no, that one's hot. And I'm like, well, I'll have that one.
It's like you just take whichever one you think's hot, and I'll have the leftovers because she's still not bad looking.
Yeah, she's still a 7, 8, 9, whatever.
Yeah. So right now, because there's nobody else, she is a 10 because she's the only 10.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's like, and she's a model.
Yeah. But this biggest thing about the series is I'm bringing it into the 21st century. We've got we're gonna have instant results, awards right at the end of the race. We've got media coverage through Burb Off Road, through Seat Time, obviously, which is you could have me on here because I've been watching it. I don't watch every episode, but I watch every one that I can get to.
I like it.
And I was watching it actually on my phone when you had Robbie Bell as I was driving home from a race, like driving like this, with my phone and trying to.
So you're saying we drove you to drive as unsafely as possible. You weren't texting anybody while you were watching and doing that, were you?
Yeah, I was putting on my steering wheel and like listening to music and like in traffic at the same time watching Robbie Bell and I think who was the other?
Russell Bobbitt, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's good. It's just things like this and being able to get off-road out there. I mean, there's a lot of people in Southern California is the largest market share of off-road motorcycles, but we still have a small amount of people that actually race.
Right.
And so, we just need to get these guys out here. When they race, a local district race, you got to get an AMA license, you got to get district. It ends up being a $150 weekend just to get out here. For us, you just show up and race. It's $50 a head, you race. That's it.
I like it.
So it's a lot easier. What I'm trying to do is get people into racing so that they'll go into nationals. They'll go into the local racing. It's like a teaser to get them into it and come out, have a good time, and just have a blast with all of us out here in the desert, really.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Now when I think desert, I definitely think a little bit of Burning Man. I don't know too many people out there know what Burning Man is. You want to go look it up because we're not about to spend time talking about what it is. You definitely want to go look it up. But if you want the reference, there it is.
Yeah.
How do you? I kind of try to struggle with this because I like drinking, I like partying, I like having a good time. Now as well, I like doing it in a responsible fashion because I'm a responsible adult in that arena. So is there a way in these kind of races that you can bring in some form of that party style atmosphere, like the night of, or the night after the race, that you could think of, or that you've thought of that we might be able to do to kind of bring in some form of that after party mentality into some of these race series that's maybe not sponsored by the race series, but still kind of,
everybody go here after the race and have a good time.
Right.
But I know that with the Reno Extreme, the one up in Reno, they actually have a whole drinking area. I mean, there's a Monster Cabana where they have free drinks, and all night. It's crazy. Like after the race last year, we went there, and then I don't remember it.
I showed up, and then I woke up.
Yeah, and it was tomorrow. And I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
I still don't know where my pants are technically, but whatever. That's fine.
With the desert, a lot of times with these long races, it's like with Baja, it's just over, and that's it. A lot of the stuff is beforehand. And with being in Barstow right here, we're right next to town. I mean, like I said, I drove right here into town, and there's a bunch of stuff in town doing here. But I know that the Reno race, that's a huge focus, is getting spectators out there, getting spectators involved, and having the party atmosphere and doing all that. So it's definitely something that can be expanded upon. The tough part is that being on public BLM land, a lot harder to do all that. I mean, it's harder to get the permits, it's harder to get all that stuff. So you'd have to do something like, okay, we're going here afterwards. Which is definitely something that we want to expand into.
Huh. All right. Well, no, cool. Yeah. You just you strike me as an individual that would have some of the same thoughts as myself, and that's kind of why I brought that question to you, and that may be something we have to talk about in the near future. But okay, so you're going to be racing this coming up weekend at the San Felipe 250. That sounds like a pretty badass way to get a lot of ass butt, like a lot of monkey butt, just straight up raw ass. So what are some preparations that you take when it comes to doing a long ride like that to make sure that your butt doesn't come away chapped like a mother?
I don't really have a problem with that too much. What I noticed though is when I wear riding pants, it's worse. So I just wear regular boxer briefs, and it like soaks the sweat away, I guess. And it just, because I pre-run on a KTM, and that's the worst seat there is to do that on. So,
yes.
For the, I don't know, Baja's a different thing, because I mean, you can do 80 miles and it's no big deal. It's not 80 miles, whatever. And as it's roads and it's whoops and all that other stuff. I think a lot of it just is, racing the National Hare and Hounds, you go out to Baja and it's nothing. It's just whoops and some roads and you go on. No big deal. So, I don't know. There's a lot of people that get it, but I've never really had an issue. My brother has an issue. He has his girlfriend put powder on his ass before all the races and stuff. It's really funny.
So he doesn't actually do it himself. He has to have his girlfriend do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then when I was down with the guys, I took 3 guys from New York to race Baja for their first time last year, and they had this salve that they put on their ass, and we were like in a crowd of people, and he's like, "You guys want to turn around for this?" And they're like, "No, we want it." And he's like, "No, turn around." And he just did it, put it in his ass, and they were like, "Oh God!" But he didn't get monkey butt, so it was
We'll give it to him. Yeah, I've definitely got some chamois butter that I use for enduros and stuff like that. But man, I don't know that I would. I don't know that I would like pull in a crowd to try to put chamois butter in my butt. It seems interesting.
Yeah, it was crazy. We were in a crowd of like 150 people. We just pulled up alongside the road and just get out of the way and changed a tire and put salve on the ass and got going. So it was great.
Shit's happening. I like it. Well, I'm not going to lie. We've been doing this for about an hour and a half. You tell me you tell me what people need to know about your series so that we can get the best information out there so that they can come out and race if they're on the West Coast, have a really good time, and learn a lot more about what you have to offer for off-road racing.
Yeah. Okay. So my race series, it's a 5-race series. There's 3 team races. There's an extreme race that's tough. The team races are all relatively easy. You can come out, have a good time. They're quad friendly. There's some little bit challenging sections, but most of them are just fun, fast, and easy. And it's more about the team aspect and having fun. But then we have the extreme race as well to go over the limit, the top. The entry fees are very competitive. You don't need a membership except for the national. You just show up and race. We're going to have instant results. We're going to have trophies right at the finish line. We've got gift certificates from Fastco and from Dirt Tricks and from all the companies that sponsor us, TBT, and we're just running a professional organization to offer a place where people could come out and be like, all right, I spent $50 and it was well worth it, instead of a pie plate pointing you over here or something like that.
Right.
And you can go to our website at getextreme.com, GET-XTR-EME, because all the other Get It Extremes were taken.
I've gotten it extreme quite a few times, but never at your site.
Yeah, and it's a brand new series where basically, because I've been involved with a lot of other series, I've raced a lot of other series, I've taken a little bit from everything, taken all the things that worked, cut out all the things that don't work, and just putting together a professionally run off-road racing series.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm down. I think it's very exciting.
And they're every other month, so you have a chance to recoup and race in between if you want, and they all preempt Baja, so you can come out and do some Baja testing. And we've got a night race in September. That's a dual stage day-night race, and then the Johnny Campbell Christmas Classic, so you can come out with all your Baja buddies after Baja and party it up with Johnny Campbell and all those guys. And yeah, so it's just a good time.
Where do most of these races take place? If people are on the West Coast and kind of want to know like what the location is for most of these races.
Yeah. Well, the good thing too is, instead of beating the crap out of one place every single round, it's a different place every race. So this race is the Barstow 200. Then we have the Ridgecrest Rumble, which is in Ridgecrest, California. Then we have the Reno Extreme in Reno. Then we have the Baja Challenge, which is the day-night team race, which is in Lucerne Valley. And then we have the Johnny Campbell Christmas Classic, which is in Anza at the ranch.
Okay. Awesome, man. Well, that's cool. I look forward to it. Yeah.
It'll be good.
I think it's going to be awesome.
So
are you going to have some guys out there filming and stuff, making some good videos?
Absolutely. We've got Romp World out here filming. We've got Verb Off Road is going to be doing coverage. We have Young Bull Racing is going to be taking pictures and having all the photos up and everything. So we're full-blown media coverage. That's one of our staples, is that we want people to go, hey, look, I was at this race, and be able to show their friends, hey, look, I was at this race, instead of like, yeah, there was this race, there's some helmet cam footage of like a novice guy, I don't know. And
Right.
I want it to be something people go, I want to go here, this is where I was. And like Romania, they have full-blown media package, and that's something that so we're working into stuff like that.
Well,
for
I think
all the riders.
I think that's super smart, man. I look forward to seeing more about it. I wish I could be out on the West Coast to go have fun and do it. I would if I could. I've never done anything like that. That's super crazy-ass desert racing. I've done some West Texas stuff. I don't really know how that compares. It's crazy fast. It can get sandy. It can get rocky. It can get nasty and gnarly, and you don't know where the fuck you're going. I mean, that sounds like the desert to me, but I don't really know, so we'll see if I could ever get out there. So, what's that?
For the most part. I mean, that's the desert.
Yeah. They're like, I don't know where I am. You're in the fucking desert. That's where you are.
Yeah, you're in the middle of the desert. Yeah, I think, I don't know. I'm in the desert. That's it.
Yeah, so. I feel lost. It's the desert. Awesome. Okay, well, for those of you who have made it this far, we really appreciate the fact that you've made it to the end of the show. we have done an hour and a half, and we have done an hour and a half of a lot of stuff. I have to say, even though we got a little off track in different places, I think that we came back quick. We fixed some things. We've had technical difficulties in the past, but this is probably the best that we've ever done from recovering and continuing to bring coverage. Thanks to our awesome friend, Stephen Rice. Those of you guys who can't see, that's his thumb. He has been doing an amazing job producing the show the past couple weeks. We're going to, no, an amazing job. The SMS thing was definitely not his fault. I mean, it's not mine either. We'll blame other people because nobody wants to blame themselves for that kind of shit. But, so I have to say thank you very much to him. There were a couple guys this past weekend at the West Texas, the Lone Star Enduro that helped us out. Family Power Sports, big shout out to them for helping them get my truck out of the ditch. That was awesome. We could talk about that later. And then, of course, Jim Robinson, who pulled off some crazy-ass thorns that were like this big around, this big, off of my personal body that would have very much rubbed every part of me the wrong way if he had not done that. So, big shout out to those guys for being awesome. I had a lot of fun with all the races. Appreciate everybody that said hi, especially the ones that said they enjoy Seat Time. If you were wondering, Seat Time is brought to you by Squarespace.com. You can go check them out, Squarespace.com/SeatTime. Now you're wondering, what is Squarespace? That doesn't really make much sense to me. Well, Squarespace is the place you need to be and you need to go to and sign up if you're looking to make a very, very fantastic, professional, elegant-looking website. And you want to do it easy and quick and have absolutely no idea that you felt like a web designer, because that's what you're going to be. You go there and you can sign up for an account, free account, which is awesome to get the first couple days free, check everything out, get it all set up. You can import everything from WordPress or any other kind of blogging software. So that way, if you're like, I've been here for about a year, I don't really know if I want to go over. No, you can do that easily. You just import to Squarespace, make the transition extremely, extremely easy. I think what really makes it fantastic for a lot of people is that you can get in there, and sometimes you'll go to WordPress or you go to other blogging software platforms, and you don't know where to host it. You're like, where do I go host this? Well, you can host with Squarespace. You're like, I don't really know what I want this to look like. I'm going to go find a theme. Well, you can do that all within Squarespace. Squarespace has their own professionally designed themes, and as well, everything is responsive. You know, like, what is responsive? Well, responsive is, look, it looks good on my big browser. It looks good on my tablet. It looks good on my mobile phone. Everything is responsive to the device that the user is on. So you don't have to think about any of that. You put the content up there, which is your awesome pictures, your awesome writings, your awesome website that you can host and do through squarespace.com/seattime. And if you would love to save 10%, you want to use the discount code SeatTime1. So thank you very much for their partnership with Seat Time. We really appreciate it. All right. Tell us one more time, Mr. Erek, where we can find you, where we can find your website for your series, and what you're going to be doing, you know?
It's at getextreme.com, GETXTR-EME.com. And I do graphic design, web design, and we've got this off-road series that's starting this Sunday. And I got to give a shout out to my buddy Tony Bartel, who's watching right now. He told me that he just posted that in Australia, the women love us Americans. So we got to go. Toby Price has an open invite to his house. We got to be there.
It's gonna be really interesting when about 10,000 of our fans show up at his house, because I'm pretty sure he just invited everybody that's watching.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what he gets, right? Boom.
Yeah.
So.
And then you can follow. I'm gonna be tweeting the race while it's happening at GXE_offroad on Twitter. And that goes to our Facebook. We're on Facebook. We're on all that crap. Tumblr and all the newfangled stuff.
I'm going to social media the crap out of you is what's going to happen, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole race, pictures, Twitter, or what I got, some other Instagram, all that stuff.
I like it. I'm looking forward to seeing all the pictures, seeing all the race results, and finding out more fantasticness about new off-road racing. I think it's going to be a good time. What you are watching, if you've made it this far, is Seat Time. You can find us at seattime.co is the website. And then, of course, if you happen to be on Facebook, facebook.com/seattime is where you can like us, and Facebook is real hard. And then, of course, you're like, oh my gosh, I have this amazing tweet in my head. I'm going to go to Twitter, twitter.com/seattime_co. That's where you want to send that bad boy. Of course, if you're on Twitter and you're going to send that tweet, make sure you put that little @ sign in front of it. That's the way you're going to tag us. It's going to be awesome. I really appreciate it. Remember, you can find this stuff at our website, on YouTube, on Stitcher, on iTunes. All you got to do is go in there and search for Seat Time. You can find all the episodes. It's going to be archived Erek, did you have a good time? Are you happy to be on Seat Time?
Absolutely. I'm glad you had us. I mean,
You got to talk
and
to
I
like
get to go to
two of your
Starbucks.
most favorite guys ever.
yeah, and I get to go to Starbucks right after this. It's great.
Or like literally,
Yeah.
like you don't even have
I
to
think
like
they're-
act, you could jump and be there.
Yeah, there's a Denny's right on this side too. So I'm in their no parking zone. So yeah, it was cool.
I
having-
enjoy how much
cool-
illegal shit
yeah.
people do for Seat Time.
Yeah, it's great. Oh man, I was driving without a seatbelt the whole time and going over medians and crap. Well, I didn't go over medians, but you know. But it was cool being on with Kailub and Toby, and it's gonna be cool watching GNCC, and gonna be down in Mexico watching everybody dance, and it's just great having all the guys on here and just being able to be dudes on your show. It's cool. I love watching it.
Awesome, man. Well, we really appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time. And remember, this is Seat Time. If nothing else, always enjoy a pintful of awesome. Please, thank you to everybody that comes and says hi to me at the races. I love it. I just want to high five, have a good time, and if you have an extra cider because I can't drink beer after the race, maybe some liquor, I'll be more than happy to have a drink with you, so please come find me. If you're not 21, I'm not doing it. That's just weird. Come find me. All right. Thanks, everybody. Episode 75. Erek, we're out. Boosh.